There hasn't been a lot of good news recently for Brooklyn Center shopping malls, but a local nonprofit hopes a big purchase can change that. Kevin Miller explains a big opportunity for small businesses.
Brooklyn Center's business community has taken some heavy hits.
People really started questioning, our community, whether it was a good place to continue living in or whether it was a good place to continue doing business in.
But with retail giants like Target and Walmart moving out,
businesses were closing, and vacating that mall strip.
New opportunities open up.
A lot of our micro businesses don't need 2,000 square feet.
With the help of grant funding, Acer, a Brooklyn Park-based nonprofit, is buying Shingle Creek Center for $5.2 million.
It is a mall strip that has been central in our community.
The deal gives a small business cooperative a chance at property ownership.
Some of the folks in the incubator are also going to be co-owners.
It's in the heart of the Brooklyn Center redevelopment area dubbed the Opportunity Site.
We're excited about being there and being in the mix of things.
The Small Business Center will offer affordable commercial space and training.
What is needed is that continued investment and support.
Acer expects to close on the sale next week. They'll keep current tenants like Brothers Taquiera, which opened in July.
I think the only challenge we'll have, to be honest with you, is that we're not going to be able to fit in everybody.
The plan is giving tenants a chance not only to build wealth, but a chance to change the narrative.
To be honest, we also view it as, putting a stake in the ground to say that, this is our community. We're not going to run away from it. Really sending a message that, we're still open for business. We should be invested in.
In Brooklyn Center, Kevin Miller, CCX News.
That deal is expected to close next week. Acer expects to house around 27 businesses at the mall. A Brooklyn Park City employee has been accused of lewd conduct in his Brooklyn Park neighborhood with children present. William Anderson is accused of exposing and touching himself in clear view on his front porch. Anderson is charged with 2 gross misdemeanors. According to the criminal complaint, this is not the first time he's committed such actions. Anderson is on paid leave. He had been working as a senior program manager for the city's Economic Development and Housing Division. The city released a statement saying it's conducting an internal investigation to determine violations of city policies. Brooklyn Center leaders are thanking community groups for helping deter crime.
From last year's crime stats to this year, for the past 2 months, we have seen a decline.
City officials are crediting 4 intervenor groups that contract with the city for that drop. The groups wear blue shirts that say outreach on the back. The intervenors are deployed to 16 so-called hotspots where there are more police calls. Officials say they've made a difference.
We're saving lives and we're changing lives and we're building relationships. There are just so many. There's a wealth of benefits for us as a community to have community intervenors in those spaces.
Intervenors receive training and communicate daily with Brooklyn Center Police. A problem at one West Metro food shelf could have meant hundreds would not have enough to eat. But as Rusty Ray explains, a community partner stepped in to help and kept the goodwill going.
Food shelves need freezers. Weekend before last, the freezer at PRISM in Golden Valley went kaput.
It needed to be fully emptied and cleaned out in order for us to kind of diagnose and fix the problem.
A broken fan and some fried circuits. About $15,000 in repairs. Calls and emails went out asking for help. Food went to other freezers at other shelves.
We had to act quickly and be nimble and adaptable to make sure that our operations maintained throughout the week and that we were able to feed the 600 families that came to the food shelf last week.
Fundraising began also among community partners and individual donors. About half of the money came in last week.
The need for food is so high.
When leaders at Allianz Life nearby found out what was happening, the process accelerated. The worldwide company collects toys each Christmas and helps PRISM year-round.
I reached out to Alicia and said, hey, where are you? What is it that you need? Do you need volunteers? How much money are you looking for? And when she said, we need $7,000 to close that gap, we thought that's something we can do.
It was great to get that email from Kenna.
The gift helped PRISM get back on track.
I cried some tears, knowing that we didn't have to spend as much time focusing on fundraising and we could spend more time on getting the freezer up and running and providing the food to the community. So it was a great support.
Part of the ongoing community relationship Allianz has. And PRISM stayed open and did not miss a chance to help those in need. In Golden Valley, Rusty Ray, CCX News.
Last week, some families didn't get as much frozen meat to take home as they normally do, but otherwise there was little disruption in service. With September coming to a close, the fall colors are starting to pop, but you don't have to travel too far to enjoy what Mother Nature has to offer.
Parks like Elm Creek Park Reserve, Baker Park Reserve, Lake Rebecca Park Reserve, all have sugar maple dominated forests, and those are turning right now, and so those would be great places to go.
Experts with the Three Rivers Park District say fall colors are slightly ahead of schedule compared to previous years. With the rainfall we've received over the past few days, that might help make fall foliage in oak trees more vibrant. Fish Lake Regional Park in Maple Grove is one of those places locally where you can take in the scenery.
This is a great time to take advantage of it, especially this weekend with the temperatures going back up. So from a park patron standpoint, it doesn't really get much better than this weekend to come out and see these colors.
However, not every tree is benefiting from this recent surge of moisture. Maple and basswood trees have already begun to turn, and the rainfall won't help those trees until next year.
Wayzata and Champlin Park are two of the state's premier volleyball teams. Number 1 Wayzata hoped to stay unbeaten as they hosted number 3 Champlin Park Tuesday. Jay Wilcox has highlights from this epic matchup.
Three-time defending state champ and top-ranked Wayzata hosting third-ranked Champlin Park in a great volleyball matchup. The visiting Rebels come out strong. Catherine Adler gets the block here as Champlin Park, trying to repeat a regular season win over Wayzata from last season, takes the opening set 25-21. Second set, and Riley Kurth times her block perfectly as Wayzata takes a 20-18 lead in another close set. They go left side to Avery Jesuits for the kill on set point as the Trojans even the match at a set apiece with a 25-21 win in the second. The Rebels lead for a good chunk of the third. Reese Axness, a good set to Carly Gilk, and it's off the blocker for a kill. It's 13-11 Champlin Park. But Wayzata pulls out the win. Sophomore Eva Swenson delivers set point for Wayzata as they pull away to win 25-18. The fourth set is another close battle, but Olivia Swenson and the Trojans take the win, prevailing 25-23 to rally for a 4-set win over Champlin Park and stay undefeated.
It's a great thing. I mean, that's what makes us better, is fighting against those really competitive teams. And I personally love playing teams like that, where they just fight and fight and fight, and we, you know, it's nice to when they push back on us a little bit.
I mean, we saw them earlier at a tournament, and it was nice to come out of that with a win as well. But I think it's good that we see them before the section final. So
a great match that could be a warm-up for a third Wayzata Champlin Park meeting in Section 5-4A. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
The Osseo boys soccer team came into their Tuesday night match at Armstrong with 4 ties, but no losses in their first 11 matches. They look to stay unbeaten against a Falcons team looking for its 3rd win in their last 4 games.
A rainy night in Plymouth as the Falcons hosted the Orioles in this late regular season match. First half, Armstrong's Andrew Hayden crosses the ball to Moses Kamara, and the sophomore chips a shot past the Osseo defender and the goalie and in, and it puts the Falcons up 1-0 25 minutes into the match. Same score in the second half when the Falcons are awarded a penalty kick, and Kamara doesn't miss. He nets his 2nd goal of the match and 6th of the season. That's worth celebrating, and Armstrong leads 2-0. And that's the way it stays. Falcons keeper Easton Basic stops everything that comes his way, including this save on Douglas Wagner's shot. Armstrong ends Osseo's unbeaten streak. The Falcons posted 2-0 shutout.
5 weeks into the regular season, and the Benilde-St. Margaret's girls soccer team has still not lost a game. The Red Knights are 9-0-2 and have posted 6 straight shutouts heading into Tuesday night's match against Two Rivers. Ches Moots has the highlights.
BSM opening up Week 6 at home against a Class 3A opponent out of Section 4, Two Rivers. First half, 16th minute, Red Knights with a corner kick. Hannah Buller skies the ball into the box. It gets batted around. Lyra Carter gets a good shot attempt in, but the Warriors keeper Edie Halverson comes up with a diving stop to keep it a scoreless game. 33rd minute, Benilde-St. Margaret's on the attack again. Sienna Carver gets possession of the ball, sends a pretty pass up ahead to Brooklyn Miller. She gets it in stride and beats Halverson for the game's first score. BSM took a 1-0 lead into halftime. Second half, Red Knights with a free kick. Lauren Hillens with a great boot from 31 yards out, but Halverson with an even better save bats it out, still 1-0. 2 minutes after that save, check out the passing here from the Red Knights. Kaya Gillen through ball to Buller, one-touch pass to Hillens and in far post. BSM goes on to get a 2-0 win over Two Rivers. That's 7 shutouts in a row, and it's the Red Knights' 6th win this year over a Class 3A opponent. In St. Louis Park, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.